let's shift our focus to Manipur. 2-3 aspects in Manipur. Because number one, this is what we're just getting in, that there have been 3 new killings that have taken place in Manipur. 3 killed in fresh incident of violence in Manipur. The incident took place early this morning, this in the Thowai Kuki village in Thangkhul, Naga-dominated Ukhrul. So Ukhrul is the area where this happened. These are 3 volunteers. Police said 3 people killed were reportedly entrusted with guarding the village. So these were volunteers who were guarding the village that have been killed.
And that was in a Naga-dominated
in a Naga-dominated area. This is Ukhrul. 3 people were killed in this fresh violence that has been reported in this Naga-dominated Ukhrul. The incident took place at about 4:30 a.m. in the wee hours of morning. This coming in from the police. The Kuki village of Thowai Kuki, which comes under the jurisdiction of Ukhrul police. Now, the 3 who have been killed have been identified as Thangokai Haukip, Jamkhogin Haukip, and Holosin Baite. This is an e-copy that I'm reading from the Indian Express, of course, but several other media houses and of course the wires have reported this. Ukhrul SP Ningshem Vashum said that the 3 were reportedly village guards who were entrusted with guarding the village. But that's not all, Varghese. Even as these 3 new fresh killings have taken place, look at that, what's there on the screen.
Well,
Kuki MLAs, the tribal MLAs are going to skip the assembly session. The assembly session begins on the 21st, which is the upcoming Monday, and 10 tribal MLAs have written to the Prime Minister and have said that they're likely to skip the assembly session, boycott it, if you would like to put it that way, citing security concerns.
It's not only security concerns. There have been issues because it is being said that in the assembly there will be a resolution that will be passed that says that separate administration would not be allowed and Manipur's territorial integrity would be protected at any cost. So I think a lot of Kuki MLAs who have been asking for separate administration, also some of them going to the other side saying that you need a separate state, they will be finding themselves in a catch-22 situation if they attend that assembly session, and that is why they are actually moving away from attending it. But at the same time, the time is not right for them to in fact go ahead and attend that assembly session is what some of them said. As you said, some of them had issue about security, but largely it is about what will they do in that assembly session, because if they are present and this resolution is passed, it will be a big problem when they go back to their constituencies. Most of these Kuki MLAs, of course, come from Kuki-dominated
But isn't there going to be a question on the issue of representation in the assembly?
No, the issue over here about, it's about the 60 assembly.
The idea is to have voices from both sides, right?
But the issue is that it's a 60 assembly seat, and community-wise, we have seen 40 Methi MLAs as well as 20 Kuki MLAs there in that particular aspect, if my reading is correct. And at the moment, the divide is so huge that the Kuki MLAs cannot be seen trying to side with anything that shows some kind of a negotiation happening. Because remember, the peace committee did not start off. Several other talks that they try to do, only back channel talks that too with the union government is happening. That is because the Mizoram Chief Minister Zoramthanga is facilitating it. But otherwise, between Methis and Kukis, the track kind of dialogue that the central government has been trying to do is also not happening.
Meanwhile, we'll also touch upon what happened in the Delhi Assembly yesterday on Manipur. Arvind Kejriwal in that passionate address on why Manipur is not being even spoken about. But the latest gunfiring, the violence that we're learning about, they're saying there was heavy gunfire where these 3 people were killed.
Okay.
Heavy gunfire that broke out at the Ukhrul district's Kuki village.
So who's
Thowai
behind
Kuki
it?
village. Sources said that the sounds of heavy gunfire were heard from Thowai Kuki village early this morning, following which 3 villagers went missing. The lifeless bodies of the missing trio were recovered after a hectic search by the CSOs and the surrounding villagers. So they went missing. The lifeless bodies and the mortal remains were found later. On the other hand, the CBI yesterday deputed 53 officers. Now, 29 of those 53 officers, this team, are women officers, which have been drawn from its units across the country to probe the Manipur violence cases. But then again, fresh violence, renewed violence in Manipur, as 3 members of the Kuki community have been killed. So this is a Naga-dominated Ukhrul area where the Kuki community's 3 members have been killed. These were volunteers who were guarding the village, Thowai Kuki village in Ukhrul district. But in the Delhi Assembly, and this is what Arvind Kejriwal said, he said Manipur does not matter. and there was complete chaos in the Delhi Assembly over BJP MLAs' remark. BJP MLA Mohan Singh Bisht from Karawal Nagar brushed off the Manipur issue, saying the events in the northeastern state do not matter. This is what was said in the Delhi Assembly, and yesterday the Delhi Assembly was convened. The Aam Aadmi Party convener and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, he gave expansive speeches. Of course, the Delhi Services Bill was also part of that. But then again, three angles to look at the latest news coming across from Manipur. Three angles to look at that, Varghese. Number one, 3 people have been killed, renewed violence.
And that is in a Naga-dominated area.
It's a Naga-dominated area.
Because we do understand that Nagas, Metis and Kukis, we have seen how they are ethnically divided and geographically also in Manipur. They do have their own areas. So, there have been instances where Nagas have also been involved in issues in Manipur, but then it is not the right time. I mean, if Nagas are also being dragged into this conflict unnecessarily, because right now only both of them, the Kukis and the Metis, have been trying to figure it out. But a Naga angle to it will only make it, I think, a tinderbox, because this has the ability to spread across northeast.
In Nagaland also, it's the Naga community that is doing the work of, bridging these two communities together. In Nagaland, they made sure that the Kukis and Metis held hands together. There were photo ops over here also. Before the Independence Day celebrations, the Naga community said that we're going to hold peaceful rallies, urge everybody to come together. And again, this is happening in a Naga-dominated Ukhrul village. So, renewed violence, number one. Number two is the fact that, you've got the 10 tribal MLAs who said categorically that they're going to skip, the assembly session, citing concerns of security and that particular, order that you were talking about that might be
a resolution might be passed,
that might be thrown
I don't think so. Yeah.
In the Manipur Assembly. So 21st of August, upcoming Monday, is when the Manipur Assembly is going to, it's going to be convened, it's going to be called, and these 10 Kuki MLAs are going to miss it. On the other hand, the third angle of how we're looking at news developments around Manipur is that in the Delhi Assembly, a BJP MLA has said that, well, Manipur does not matter, and brushed it aside, which is again something the Aam Aadmi Party is going to go all guns blazing on. We're going to move on to the next debate topic, but in the meantime, of course, our ears and eyes will continue to be on the ground. Manipur is something that we've kept very close to heart, because we want to make sure that the right voices come out and no misrepresentation or disinformation is spread when people are talking about Manipur. That's the essential idea, isn't it, Varghese?
Yes, yes. The thing about Manipur is that we keep covering it. We don't let go of the coverage. The violence started in May 3rd, and even now we are ensuring that all information is given out in the right manner, and at the same time we are also watching for peace in the state.